Hello and welcome to today's video. We are doing another tier list. We are doing MCU Villains today, so I'm going to rank them in a tier list. So I've got as many as I can get in there. I think I've got 30 villains. We're going to chuck them into this tier list, and we're going to chuck them in. We've got obviously God, Great, Good, Average, and Shite tiers. So we're going to organize them into tiers. So there's going to be some controversial ones here and there. So people aren't going to agree. I'd love to know your one. So you know what? Let's get right into this video. Whiplash. Shite. I don't care for Whiplash at all. I really don't. I mean, I don't like there's no depth to him. The Russian accent was actually not very good in the film either. I don't really like Iron Man 2. I think that there's a villain on here that I think should have been the major villain that is much more interesting than Whiplash. Whiplash to me, just the motives aren't right. That are just like, what is going on with this character? Why is he doing this? I don't understand him. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Whiplash. Hela. Hela is great. I love the Hela character. I thought it was a great concept, bringing her in as Thor's brother and Loki's sister. Loki's sister and Thor's sister. I thought she was actually really, really good. Utilized very well for what she needed to do. And she had motive. And I liked her motive that Odin had been lying and holding her within, you know, within his power and that. And once he was gone, the seal was broken, she was able to come out. And she's seen what Odin became and what they used to do. And now she wants to fulfill what they were promised to do. So I actually really like the Hela character. So she goes in great for me. Abomination! Abomination is actually a good villain in my opinion. He is a good villain. I just wish we could see him again. That's my only issue. I want to see the Abomination again. But I don't know if we will. But I had no problems with it. He's got a bit of motive there as well. He's not a bad villain. He's not a bad villain. He's quite good. Killian! Average in my opinion. I think Killian's just an average villain. I mean, he's got the generic villain. Oh, I hate the hero because he turned me down. Like, sort of like cliche of a motive. And I wasn't very interested in him at all. I didn't find anything interesting in him. I mean, I felt like his only sole purpose was to defeat Iron Man. I'm like, dude, have a bigger goal. Like, you're under the shadows here doing all this stuff. Why would you just not continue under the shadows and try to take over the world with this? Why are you trying to just kill Iron Man? I mean, he's average in my opinion. I just never really liked Killian as a villain, so. Alexander Pierce. He's quite a good villain, you know, pulling the strings behind. Head of Hydra, you know, bit of a Palpatine sort of role that he was playing. He's decent. Obviously he's not going to be the hand-to-hand combat that we're used to or anything like that, but he's good at manipulating and having plans and using people, so he's a good villain. The Chitauri. The Chitauri for me are just average because they're just fodder. They're just there to job to the main heroes in Avengers, and that's all they are. So they have to go in that one for me. So we got the first person from the Black Order, the Children of Thanos, and I forget his name. Cornelius, I think it is. Average. He didn't have too much character depth to him. He was just sort of there. So I got to put him there. And Cole's the same as well. Cole's gone in average as well. Not too much character to those two, so he's just a brute Hulk, and he was just there. Caecilius, I believe his name is. He's not a very good villain. You get a great actor in to play this character, and you give him not much good material to work with as a villain. He just sort of was there to be like an obstacle for Doctor Strange to overcome. He never really had any motive to why he was doing it or anything like that. There was no character depth to him, and yeah, he's not a very good villain. He's shite. Dormammu. I'm going to put Dormammu in the average one right now because I don't think we've seen enough of him. I think we need to see more of him, more of his backstory maybe, and see what he's really capable of. He only had a little cameo appearance in Doctor Strange, so I've just got to put him in the average for now because we don't know too much about him. Maw. Ebony Maw. He is great. He is the best one of the Black Order. He was one of the standouts in Infinity War. I thought he was quite good, and he's quite a good character with a bit of depth to him as well. And I like his interactions with Tony, with Doctor Strange. That was quite unique, and it was really fun watching him on screen. It's just a bit of a shame that he died early, but I mean, he was the one out of the whole Black Order, I think that's what they're called, the children of Thanos, that was actually really, really good. So he goes in great. Ego! Average. Ego to me is an average villain. I just don't like Ego at all. I think it was wasted opportunity, wasted potential with this character. You could have done so much with this character. I think having him kill his children and that was a bit okay. And Guardians 2's tone's all over the place. One minute's happy, one minute's not. I don't find Ego that attractive as a villain. So I got to put him in the average tier for me. Ghost. She's good. She's got a decent motive behind her. She's in pain. She wants to get rid of this pain. So I think she has quite a good motive. I think there's a particular storyline that they could have taken out of Ant-Man and the Wasp and really focused on the Ghost character and given her more depth and development, but they didn't do that, so that's unfortunate. But otherwise she would be a lot higher. But right now she is actually going to be just sitting in the good tier. Justin Hammer. Look, to me, Justin Hammer is good. He would be in great, or possibly God. The only problem is I thought he should have been the main villain of Iron Man 2. I think you bring in this great actor, you have this great character, make him the major villain. And they didn't. And I think that hurt Iron Man 2 a lot, is not having him as the major villain. It was all set up for him to be the major villain, and then boom, he's not really the major villain. Whiplash is. But I really was hoping to see Justin Hammer be the villain. I think there was a lot of potential there for Justin Hammer to be a great villain. Killmonger. He's going to be the first one into God. I think Killmonger is a fantastic villain. He has great motive. There's just so much depth to this character, from his whole childhood to growing up, seeing the real world, what's happening on the outside of the world, and understanding society, and then going back to Wakanda to try and claim the throne in order to execute his plan to make sure that they don't fall like everyone, all the other races and civilizations have fallen before him. So I really, really like his character and his character arc throughout the Black Panther film. So he's a god tier for me. And it's very rare you see a villain change the perspective of a hero, and that's what he did. He changed the perspective of, I can't even speak. He changed T'Challa's views on things. So, and then T'Challa changed. So he actually changed T'Challa in a way as well, which is great for a villain. Loki. God. I mean, you gotta have Loki and God. He's one of the great villains, and he's just absolutely perfect. So I don't need to say too much about Loki. Everyone knows Loki, and to me, he's definitely got to be in the God tier. Malekith. Probably the worst villain of all time in the MCU. He's in shite. He has no character, no nothing. I mean, you could take him out and replace him with anything. I could take Malekith out and replace him with my camera, and my camera would have more character development than Malekith. That's how bad Malekith is. He's just not even worth being in it. So he's the worst villain in the whole thing, basically. So, Ironmonger. Obadiah Stane. He is great. He is a great villain. I will give that. He is a great villain. He's the best Iron Man villain. He has good motive. I actually quite like him, and you got a decent actor to play him as well. I have no problems with him. I think he's great. Proxima, I believe. She's average. Not too much character development. So she's just got to sit in the average there. Red Skull. Look, Red Skull is a good villain. The only reason why he's not in great is because I don't think they utilized him quite to his full potential. I think there was more potential for Red Skull, and he didn't have enough screen time in the first Captain America, and that to me damaged the character. I think if we got more of him, he could be up in the great god tiers, but unfortunately I think he's a bit of waste potential as well. So Ronan's good. He looks cool in that, but I wish we got a bit more. I thought Captain Marvel was going to really... I don't know why they put him in Captain Marvel. He didn't need to be in Captain Marvel. I really thought that movie was going to showcase Ronan at his best, but no. He does his job in Guardians in the first one. I wanted more from Ronan, to be honest. That's why he's not in the great or god tiers. I wanted more. He's a bit like Red Skull and Justin Hammer. He's good, but he needed a bit more to push him up. I think you could have done that with him, but unfortunately they didn't. Sony Butch or whatever his name is, shite. That's what I'm talking about in Ant-Man and Wasp. Get rid of him and just concentrate on Ghost. Simple as. This guy did not need to be in there. Did not need to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Surtur. I'm gonna put it. I have to put him in the average because he's a bit like Dormammu, where we didn't see enough of him, and yeah, so we didn't see enough of Surtur to put him any higher. Thanos, god tier. I mean, Thanos is the best MCU villain. There's so much layers to him. He believes he's the hero of the story. I mean, Thanos is just a great villain. To me, he's top 5 best movie villains of all time. I mean, this guy is just one of those characters that is just so good. Ultron. Ultron to me is great. The only reason why he's not in God is because I think he needed 2 movies to really flush his character out. I think the way he got his motives in that was too quick, and it hurt the character, and that really pulls it down. So, but if you give him 2 movies and flush that motive out, I think he goes in God. So, Ultron's a bit of a wasted opportunity as well there. The Vulture. The Vulture's in God. I love the Vulture. I think he's a great villain. He has great motive. I think the biggest thing with the Vulture is you understand why he's doing what he's doing, and that makes him a great villain. You understand, okay, I know why he's doing this. I know why he's doing that. So, I have no problems with the Vulture. I think he was a perfect choice, and I look forward to seeing more of him. Winter Soldier. He's good. To me, Bucky's better when he's a hero. As the villain, he's a bit of a mindless soldier, in a way to speak. That's how I got from him. There wasn't too much character to him as the villain. He's sort of just there as an equal obstacle for Captain America to overcome. And then we discover it's Bucky. And then you sort of do see a bit of character development at the end of Winter Soldier, but I don't think there was enough to put him in the great tier, unfortunately. Yellow Jacket, I'm going to put Yellow Jacket in the good tier. He's a decent villain, He's a bit of a generic villain as well. Could have been really expanded upon and created in a better way, but hey, he was good enough for Ant-Man, so he's just a good turn. Yawn Rourke. Yeah, he's good. He's alright. Yeah, he's alright. He's got a bit of motive behind him. Yeah, he's alright. I mean, you get Jude Law in and you don't give him much material to work with. That's what hurts. I think that character could have been flushed out a bit better. So I'd be interested if we see him in Captain Marvel 2 or not. And then the last one, Zemo. To me, Zemo is a god tier villain because he is the only villain who is able to tear the Avengers down by manipulating them and making them fight each other. And to me, that was really good. And it was something refreshing. It was something different. We didn't have a brute going head to head. He was able to tear the Avengers apart from the inside. He used his skills and his skill set to be able to manipulate and maneuver chess pieces into the positions he wanted in order to execute his plan. And I thought it was very well done. I really liked the character, and I'm very interested and intrigued and excited to see him in the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. So I hope they do that character justice. But yeah, Baron Zemo for me is a god tier villain. So there you have it. That is my tier list of MCU villains. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Where would you rank? Where do you disagree with me? Where do you agree with me? I'd love to hear it. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.